everybody. Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host, Garrett Morlang, and here in the studio with moi is none other than JJ Purdom.
Thank you very much, Garrett. I'm so excited to be here. I am the other host of the Super Gamer Boys, and I'm coming in hot at 4 awesome days of vacation. It's been so relaxing and wonderful.
Yeah, you suck.
Yeah, I know.
You suck real bad.
I kind of do, yeah. Why do you always tell me that?
I had to work Friday. You took the day off because you just want to play video games or something. I don't know.
Oh, and I did. All day long. All day.
We had Labor Day today as a recording, Monday, which I ended up just working all day. Again, not at my actual job, but for the podcast because I wanted to make some good content. So I spent half the day just in the studio working on stuff while JJ, again, just played video games.
Played video games all day. Yeah. And that's what sets you apart, Garrett, from everybody else, from every other podcaster out there. Is you
all
put
work,
the
no
work
play.
In.
All work, no play.
You don't get to play at all. You're down here slaving, and the studio looks nice, by the way. I can tell you did some cleaning in here as well. And you got that.
I made a real big mess, too.
Did you?
You should have saw on. It was a disaster in here.
And you're cleaning right before. So did you have a nice weekend though? The other couple of days you were able to. You got a 3-day. You did have a 3-day off.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah,
more or less. Yeah, more or less.
I was sick all weekend, so it was pretty crappy. So not only did I work all weekend, but I was sick. So yeah, it's fantastic, JJ. Just great.
I feel bad now.
Just great.
Is that why there was the trail from the bathroom on the floor?
Not that kind of sick.
Oh.
That wasn't me.
Oh.
No, so
somebody better get on that.
I want to hear a story. When I first showed up here this afternoon, it was like a little afternoon, there was a couple cop cars out in the parking lot. I'm like, that's weird. Like this, that's just not a normal thing, at least I've never seen cops show up here at our office building. And there's only one other car in the parking lot. So I was like, either he's getting arrested or they're waiting in the studio to arrest me.
That could happen.
And I almost jumped back in the van and just left.
Just for you not finishing video games? They're gonna... You would not do well in prison, Garrett. You are not...
You underestimate me.
No, I'm pretty sure you'd be grabbing pockets, buddy. You would have a roommate. You'd be giving your cornbread to somebody else, if you know what I mean.
So I Walt came in the studio. I didn't see any cops in the hallway or anything. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Whatever. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just going to do my thing. I was back here working, and all of a sudden I heard at the door, and I was like, that's weird. And then I heard like the handle jiggle. I'm like, that's weird. So I got up.
Did you peek through the mail slot?
I should have. It would have been way funnier.
That would have been hilarious. I would have totally
been way better.
Go away, no one's home.
Yeah. No, I just opened up the door. All of a sudden, I just like ran out there, unlocked the door. I had it dead bolted shut. That's why they couldn't get in.
Tell me you didn't grab the door and swing it open real hard.
Everyone, get down! No.
Yeah. What do you kids want?
No, I swing the door open, and like standing right there is both the officers. I don't think they were expecting me to be in here. I thought they were like, oh, the door's locked, and we were just moving on. So I think I startled them. Also, they both kind of like jumped and like looked at me like, oh, hi there. I'm like, hi. They're like, oh, we were just checking the rooms, making sure everything's locked up, making sure there's no suspicious activity. Apparently, they had gotten a call. Whoever that other car was in the driveway must have called the police saying that homeless people had been wandering through the halls in our office building. Like they got inside and started like trying to use the bathroom, and they wanted to make sure they weren't breaking into anyone's offices. So they're going office to office, make sure the doors were locked, or if anyone was around, make sure everything was okay.
Little do they know that our bathroom here at the studio that we use, even with the key, extremely hard to get into.
It's impossible. Yeah,
you have to like pull it out a quarter inch and then jiggle it for a little while, and then sometimes you get lucky and it unlocks.
It's quite the trick. Yeah, if it's ever an emergency, don't use this bathroom because it's no guarantee you're going to be able to get that door open.
And that explains why there was the trail on the floor earlier.
Exactly, yeah. But no, that's, I was like, oh, okay, so there's been, apparently some homeless people living in the building.
I kind of almost wish that you would have had gotten frisked and they would have found like your stash of cocaine and you would have had to go to jail.
You can't say that. You can't say stuff like that.
What do they call it now? They don't call it cocaine anymore?
No.
Okay. Well, hey, so what I did this weekend was I hosted the fall festival in my town of Newman, the lip sync contest. It's a yearly tradition. It's been going on for over like 45 years. I haven't hosted it in a few years. I refused to do it a few years ago, took a break from it, and I get asked every year. This year, the person running the committee is a friend of mine and begged me. And so I said, okay. So I went and did it, and I had an absolute blast. And I was able to get on stage repping the Super Gamer Boys with our T-shirt.
Nice.
And pimping the old podcast-a-reno. I think that's what they call it. And, it's funny enough, I did have a couple of things. I was very worried because society's changed a whole lot in the last 5 or 6 years. And
that's the only reason you were worried.
I was really worried that I have to police myself a lot more. Be careful of what you say. Be careful of what you say. I've never thought that in my entire life. I would just say it. So if I have to go into a situation and go, okay, no, don't say that. I see all these little roads that I can take for comedy. Some may or may not work. Some might be hurtful.
All these off ramps.
All of them were going hurtful routes, and I'm like, no, don't do that. So I did have a couple, but you know what? I PG-13'd myself a lot, and it was very family friendly, and it was pretty great because the community came out in force. There was maybe a little over 1,000 people that were there,
crazy. That's a lot of people.
watching, and I danced with what looked like a homeless lady seductively. The milkshake brought all the boys to the yard. I also danced to "I'm Too Sexy." I almost took my shirt off too to prove a point. Just to show off these guns.
Oh, man.
But then I thought maybe I might go to jail like you should be, and I'm too short to go to jail here.
You also did a split. You told me that story.
So and
I was so shocked. I didn't even listen. As soon as he said I did a split, I didn't listen to the whole rest of the story. The only thing in my mind was wait a second, you can do a split? And he's like, oh yeah, totally. Yeah. I'm like, I don't believe
I used to always do this thing where I do a cartwheel into the splits. So I do the cartwheel and then go down to the splits. And
it's a miracle that you ever had children.
Yeah, right?
The slam a jamma on your crotch area.
Right?
What the heck?
Yeah, so there was a kid who I kept trying to look for the humor. Hey, what's funny? What can I little interactions with each contestant.
If I maim my private bits, maybe people will laugh.
Yeah, and that's funny, right? If you see a grown man cry, what's that funny about that? So this kid, she did the splits, and then afterwards I come up and I was like, where'd you learn all your dance moves? And I was like, hey, show me that splitty thing again. And she did the splits. I was like, how do you do that? You know what? You've inspired me, kid. I want to try it. And the crowd kind of went nuts. So I was like, okay, I pulled my pants up a little bit. I kind of played to the audience a little bit. And then I dropped.
You didn't wear your skinny jeans then?
No.
Okay.
I'm not allowed to wear skinny jeans per my 16-year-old. She said, please don't do that again, Dad. So I had to retire them, unfortunately. So I went down to the splits, and I pretended like it hurt like crazy, and it got lots of laughs. And then unfortunately, true story, today I woke up and my sciatic nerve is hurting, and I have this muscle down my right cheek into my thigh, and I'm in a lot of pain. And I'm thinking, oh no, I've finally gotten too old to do that, and especially with no stretching beforehand. And I'm like, I've messed myself up pretty good. But I got all those laughs, so,
Worth it.
Right?
Alrighty, guys. Well, before we get into the show here, I just wanted to let you all know that if you really love what we do, if you enjoy our show and want to continue hearing more and help us make bigger, better stuff.
Or even if you just tolerate us, if you just barely tolerate us and you listen to it each week.
Yeah. If you want to support me working all weekend trying to make cool stuff.
And then me rolling up at the last minute and just
rolling in,
sharing in the fruits of his work.
You can go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. That's I'm going to spell that out for everyone because maybe you don't understand what I say. I'm just going to
That's what's been going on.
That's why no one goes to it.
You guys keep putting a Z on the end of it and it's got an S.
It's Patreon. patreon.com/supergamerboys. All one word. All lowercase. Real easy. Patreon.com/supergamerboys. I want you to remember that.
Please remember that.
Say it back to me right now.
Patreon.
No, not you, the listeners.
Okay.
Okay, say it back. Okay, good. Okay, now go to that site, and we have different tiers there where you can support us. and that'll help us keep the lights on, the mics on, helps us...
Have the sheriffs come around to keep the homeless people out of the pooper.
Yeah, exactly. Helps us buy games that we then can not only review on our show, but we're also starting to foray into YouTube content. We're hoping to start making more and more YouTube content, and we need games to play for that. So go support us over there so that way we can keep making more stuff for our podcast and more stuff for our YouTube channel, more stuff for you guys to laugh at us about. Huge shout out here. We do have two illustrious patrons here. Our Patreon producer, Matt Liu, thank you so much for supporting us at that producer level. You're killing it. Couldn't do it without you.
And he just recently got a PS4. Matt Liu, thanks for coming on board.
Yeah. And shout out to our Patreon sponsor, Bill Bird.
Thanks, Bill.
You done good, Bill.
I'm going to refrain from saying anything that might be construed as hurtful and or misogynistic.
Let's do it. Alrighty. Oh, and also go to supergamerboys.com/Discord or to join our Discord. We've had a lot of people join in there. It's been a lot of fun.
It's been a
lot
blast.
of cool conversations in there.
It's really cool inside of the Discord. I don't feel trapped at all.
Patreon.com, not Patreon, supergamerboys.com/YouTube to go to our YouTube channel. Like I mentioned before, we're starting to come out with some cool videos. We're working on a series for our Halloween Let's Play series, Spooky Gamer Boys.
It's mostly a lot of me playing and screaming. It's a lot of me screaming and Garrett slapping me and saying, "Stop screaming.
Stop it.
Knock it off." And he makes that sound effect every time he smacks me. Yeah. It sounds like he's opening a beer on my head. Or a liqueur.
I should be a professional Foley artist. But no, go over there, subscribe to our channel, like our videos. That will, if you subscribe and click the bell notification, you'll get notifications on your device, email, whatever it is, letting you know when the new videos come out. So go do that. What do you say we get into the nerdy nudes?
It's now time for the nerdy nudes.
First up, we have an article from Richard Wakeling over at GameSpot. New Resident Evil project will be revealed before Tokyo Game Show. So there was a kind of mysterious little, I forget what it was, if it was like a YouTube link that was found. Nothing was attached to it. Like there's no video to watch, if I remember right. But somehow they are able to pull some thumbnail grabbers. So yeah, they used a YouTube video thumbnail grabber website, it says, where they are able to pull some images that were hidden in the dark web. Mm-hmm. The article goes as follows. Capcom is unveiling a new Resident Evil project just prior to Tokyo Game Show on September 9th, tentatively titled Project Resistance. Little is known about the upcoming game, but we do know that it's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC via Steam. A teaser trailer should shed, that's a weird word combination there, more light on what to expect from Capcom's latest. Following the teaser trailer's reveal on September 9th, Project Resistance will have a booth at Tokyo Game Show where attendees can watch members of the development team show off gameplay for the first time. So yeah, there had been some rumors over the last couple of weeks about them possibly having a Resident Evil game coming out, and then they finally revealed, hey, yeah, there's something here, and they were able to, through some sorcery, pull some pictures from it, which is kind of cool. I'm excited for this. I loved Resident Evil 7. I loved Resident Evil 2 Remake. I'm excited for whatever this next Resident Evil is going to be. I'm curious where they take the franchise. I
gotta say, the franchise has... It's been hurt a little bit in the past. I think it's kind of on a resurgence. It's been very spotty because when it first came out, Resident Evil 1 was a game changer.
Oh, yeah. Well,
absolute
1, 2, and 3, I would say. And even 4.
3 was Nemesis, and it was also very great and met with a lot of fanfare.
Yeah.
I don't remember 4 being positive. I remember 4, 5, and 6. One of them was very hated.
5 and 6 most people didn't like. So 4, I think, was more one of those things where like in the moment people were like, oh, this isn't like the normal Resident Evil. So I think it kind of, scared some people off. But it was one of those things where later looking back, it's like, oh no, it's a masterpiece. Like today, people look back, kind of like a classic thing. But like people look back now, like, oh no, that game was actually amazing, and they love it. But 5 and 6 are basically turned into just action games, like it's just like super action hero games.
And what they did recently towards the end was they came up with an awesome game engine, because Resident Evil 7, it was first person and meant to be done on the VR as well. That game is incredible. It's done so well. I had a lot of fun with that game. It's very out there, very scary, lots of jumps. We did do a Twitch stream of the Resident Evil 2 remake. So when they did the remake of Resident Evil 2, we were very excited about that. And I got to tell you, I love that game. Absolutely loved it. I had it on easy, and it was still harder than heck. And it's totally different than the original Resident Evil 2. They just take and redid everything.
Yeah, they did a good job of like taking the general essence of the original one, but really making it like
the underlying story
different.
Is there, and they completely freshened it and updated it and everything. It would be really nice to see a new game in that vein.
Heck yeah.
But hopefully that's where they're going. So the last couple have been great with Resident Evil 7 and then the update to Resident Evil 2, the remake.
Yeah, I mean, well, based off of the pictures they were able to pull, it really looked like it reminds me of, what do you say, almost like Left 4 Dead 2, like those two games that came out on Xbox 360. Mm-hmm. That's what it honestly looked like. It was pretty cool. The picture that I'm looking at here has like four distinctly different characters, like a guy in like a red hoodie, punk rock like goth girl on the right hand side, another dude like a flannel behind him, the guy in the center, a girl in the back in like a yellow hoodie. So it almost makes it feel like, okay, there's going to be different characters you can play as, and it almost seems like a co-op type experience, which I don't know, might be kind of cool. It's definitely going to be a different take on Resident Evil. So
yeah, it's definitely different. I would like to see a new story emerge. So I'm hoping that they have a really killer campaign. I'm hoping that it's not, a Resident Evil Fortnite, where it's on an island, 50v50 type of thing. I want to see. I'm not so much worried about online play. I'm really hoping for a great story, which is what they've been able to provide with Resident Evil 7 and then the remake with Resident Evil 2. So let's hope they keep true with that killer story that they've been able to provide the last couple of games. Is it the same outfit putting that out?
Yes.
Good answer.
I don't know what you mean by
Yes,
Capcom owns it. They make all of them.
Okay, so Capcom has been in control of it the whole time. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. That was all. I didn't know if somebody else had taken it over recently. If we had a chance of it possibly being completely redone and gutted out.
Okay. No, yeah. It's Capcom working on this one, as per usual. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm stoked for that. Can't wait till that trailer comes out. Let's see. It's the 2nd today. So it's supposed to be revealed on, it says, following the reveal on September 9th. So look forward to a trailer that we'll probably talk about on next episode, because our next recording day is the 9th. So look forward to that. Next, the news stories here. This one's kind of a weird one, but I figure it's kind of worth touching on just because it's a big thing in the games industry right now. It's a big kind of sore spot, I guess. So it's kind of a 2-part article. I'm just pulling the second part. We didn't touch on the first part last week, but I'll kind of explain. So the headline here: Ratings Board responds to NBA 2K20's My Team trailer and gambling criticisms. So here's kind of the story. Last week, NBA 2K20, they put out a new gameplay trailer showing off some in-game systems, some really focusing on different microtransactions as well. Kind of like, okay, here's the trading card system for the My Team stuff. which is like, okay, yeah, there's microtransactions. There's a little bit of chance in there. Like you buy a deck of cards, hopefully you get some good ones, hopefully you don't. But it's not gambling technically. It's, just like buying a Pokemon card or Yu-Gi-Oh!
Who does
or
that?
Magic the Gathering.
Nobody does
or
that.
baseball or football or hockey cards, whatever your type of cards you're into.
Wrestling cards.
That's not a thing.
That's a thing.
And basically, they kind of catapulted from there, and then the next part of the trailer goes into a straight up like, what is it called, like a Plinko machine, where like you drop the ball from the top and the ball goes down all the pins and then randomly lands on different platforms, and that determines what you win. It's like, okay, well that's a little on the nose. That's gambling now, right?
Yeah, it's full on gambling.
And then it shows like a roulette wheel, and you're like, okay, I've seen those at a casino. I'm pretty sure that's gambling. And then the third thing it shows is straight up just a slot machine. You're like, okay, this is actually just straight up like we're in Vegas now.
Yeah.
Like this, they're not even trying to hide it. And I just wanted to bring this article up because, or not even the article. I don't even care. I care less about the article and what PEGI has to say, which is the European rating board. I just wanted to bring up the situation because it's been such a hot button topic in the industry the last year and a half or so. Year and a half. And it's getting to this point where like NBA 2K19 got a lot of flack last year about their microtransaction issue. And then for this year, for them to like double down on it and be like, hey guys, look, we're back and bigger than ever. We've straight up added gambling to our game now. It just seems so dirty and so gross.
At least they're not hiding it, and they're just coming right out and like shoving it in your face.
I don't know. I don't know what their goal is with this, because I feel like it's just going to hurt them in the long run, because people are going to be like, well, screw you. Like, I'm not going to play your gross game now. And then on top of that, I was telling you a little bit earlier, there's a lot of countries that are starting to ban games in their country. There's a couple European countries. I don't remember the games off the top of my head, but there's games that are being banned in countries because there's microtransactions and gambling in them. And it's like, okay, so is there going to be like a bunch of countries that can't get their hands on NBA 2K20 because they've straight up went like all out Vegas in their game? Like, I don't know. I just don't understand what their goal is in this, what point they're trying to prove, because basically it just seems like they're making enemies to me.
So my thought on all of that, the microtransaction stuff, is obviously I don't personally like it, because Fortnite was a free game, and okay, free, it's cost me so much money, and I'm okay with it that my son finds a lot of enjoyment out of it, as does my wife, and occasionally they'll come to me, and it's like when you're pumping $10-15 a month randomly into a video game you already own, just to be able to have different skins, they call it, to have different characters you can play it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you any stronger. It doesn't make you any better of a player. It's things that you're looking at.
But it looks cool.
It looks cool. Well, that looks cool thing sucks to be me because I pay for it. But it brings them joy and entertainment, right? So microtransactions, that's the way of the world. Unfortunately, a lot of games are going that route. I don't have any problem with, hey, you want to try to monetize something. Hey, you know what? Yeah, you're playing the game fine. This isn't going to make you play any better, but you want to have a different skin? Great. I want that skin. I'm willing to pay that $10 for that skin, which is ridiculous. But okay, that's my choice to do that. Where you get me when you talk about NBA 2K doing the thing where it becomes a gambling thing. Hey, pump this in. You could get some great stuff, or you can get some stuff that you really don't care for. But hey, if you keep playing, i.e. you keep spending more money, you might potentially get the thing that you want. So that to me feels wrong. Yeah.
No, this feels completely, utterly backwards.
And people, when they get into games like this, you become very compulsive. You don't think. You just want, and it's hitting some pleasure synapse in your brain, and you make some pretty crappy decisions.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But that's kind of what gambling does in real life, right? So I say NBA 2K in this game, thumbs down. Not a good idea. Microtransactions, unfortunately, for guys like me, Garrett, are going to keep happening. We're going to get more and more into that area of games trying to monetize. You know, they put a lot of money into developing the games, and they're trying to get as much money out. I mean, look at what Fortnite's done. Fortnite has made ridiculous amounts of money right now.
And it's one of those things where like every game has microtransactions now. Like Call of Duty has it, Ghost Recon has it, any racing game like Forza has it. I don't know, any game you can possibly think of off the top of your head, like there's microtransactions in it nowadays. Like that's just the way games are made today because the cost of development is so high. And I think it's a way to keep the price of the games down. Like you notice we're still only paying $60 for games. Really, the amount of money and time they put into games nowadays, they really should be charging probably a lot more. But what they do is instead of charging more for the game, they just add all these add-on microtransactions, which sucks in some instances, but in other aspects, it's just like, oh, at least you don't have to buy. At least you don't have to buy these things. But I don't know. In this instance,
no, I have to. Yeah. I get stuck and forced to and have to buy the microtransactions, stupid skins.
Yeah, but so that's that. So support it if you want, or don't. I'm not necessarily a huge basketball fan, anyways. I've enjoyed the NBA 2K games in the past, but this just seems so dirty. I'm definitely not picking this one.
So I watched a little bit of the stuff on NBA. I just saw a little bit of the trailer, and the trailer was somebody else basically just calling them out. The one that we watched was just calling them out for this, doing it like this blatantly. I gotta say, it looks really great. The game looks really, really good. And I'm not a fan of basketball in any way. But I think 2K normally does really well with their games. They've got a lot of really popular game series that they do, and a lot of them every year. WWE has some very popular games they come out with every year through 2K.
Sort of. I don't know if very popular.
Well, like everybody who's anybody plays them, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Real gamers play them, not bro gamers. Okay. You know what I mean, bro?
Sure, yeah. So that's that. 2K is just blatantly adding gambling to the game. So that's what a world we live in. You can pay $60 to then pay more money. The next news here I wanted to hit on. So reviews are out now for Joker.
Yes.
The new movie by DC. Joker movie review roundup. Here's what the critics are saying. So there's, let's see, GameSpot. I'm just going to read through some of the reviews here. So GameSpot says it might make you uncomfortable and it will no doubt stay with you long after the curtains close. Great movies often do. Time magazine, Phillips may want us to think he's giving us a movie all about the emptiness of our culture, but really he's offering a prime example of it. I don't think Time had if I remember right, I think they had a more negative review of the movie. But everyone's been giving it like 10 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s, like loving it. The Guardian, what a gloriously daring and explosive film Joker is. It's a tale that's almost as twisted as a man at its center, bulging with ideas and pitching towards anarchy. IGN says Joker isn't just an awesome comic book movie, it's an awesome movie, period. It offers no easy answers to the unsettling questions it raises about a cruel society in decline. Joaquin Phoenix's fully committed performance and Todd Phillips' masterful, albeit lucid reinvention of the DC source material make Joker a film that should leave comic book fans and non-fans alike disturbed and moved in all the right ways. So, and there's more reviews here, but when I started reading the Metacritic scores, I'm like, this is insane. I'm so stoked for this movie. This
movie is so awesome looking. Honestly, dude, this movie looks so beautiful. It looks very artsy, and I am super excited about it. It's not at all what I was picturing when I first heard that Joaquin Phoenix had taken up the Joker. I thought more like, okay, they're going to go back to the Heath Ledger. This doesn't seem like that. This seems like somebody who's twisted and depraved, but like the humanity behind it and like how somebody can go in that direction. It looks amazing, and I can't wait for us to go watch this movie and then to be able to talk about it here on the podcast. And it's coming out, I believe, in October.
Yeah, so it is. Sorry, I'm scrolling through the article to see. It doesn't have the date. It just says October. Okay. October 4th. Comes out October 4th, which that was another thing. I've heard a lot of people say, it's actually in our Discord, there was some discussion, but isn't it a little weird Like, why are the reviews coming out so early? Like, normally reviews come out like a week, maybe 2 weeks before. This is a whole month ahead of time. Like, why do you think that is? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, why do it so early?
Well, it could be that DC was wanting to get the eyeballs on the Joker film, and that they got advanced copies in a lot of those guys' hands that are doing some of the reviews.
Well, so with movies, though, they're not sending them a DVD. They would go to a theater probably.
Yeah, they're doing
it.
showings.
Right. That just seems so crazy that they would set that all up ahead of time, like rent out a theater like a whole month before it actually is supposed to come out. Like, I don't know. It just seems so crazy. And I agree with you. I think it's because DC has had such a bad track record. They want to get the hype going. Because up until now, people have been so on the fence, like, is it going to be good? Is it not? Like, the trailers look good, but there's been other trailers for DC movies that look good too. And then you go see the movie and it's, garbage. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think it definitely has something to do with like, hey, let's get people, hooked on our scent here and really suck people in way before the movie comes out. That way it's not last minute decisions. They can get some of those pre-sale tickets too, I bet.
So unlike the Spider-Man Far From Home movie that we failed to go and watch because we're losers.
We didn't have time, and now it's out of theaters.
I know, we're so busy. I just asked Garrett that last week. I was like, hey, can we still go see that? And he's like, dude,
no,
you totally missed out.
Definitely gone. Yeah.
It happened to hit at like the worst time for us, how busy we both are. But no, I love for us to go watch this movie and then be able to talk about it on the podcast because it does look really great. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I grew up in an environment where when I was a kid, I had the Cesar Romero and then had Jack Nicholson. And so that's what I foresaw Joker being for the longest time was Jack Nicholson. And I got to tell you, Heath Ledger flipped everything upside down. What's the kid's name that did Suicide Squad? Jared Leto?
God, he's so bad.
It was not great. It was
so
not
bad.
great. It was a stretch. And he's a good actor. Jared Leto's a very good actor. But it was not good.
That was not good.
It was not good. I'm excited to see what Joaquin Phoenix has done. And it already looks great. And obviously, the critics have such high scores. So I go into it with gusto.
Yeah. Well, let's hope based off the reviews, it's like that. It has to be good, right? But cool. That's all the news that we had for this week. There just wasn't like a ton of stuff that caught my eye. I feel like kind of a loser, but that's the way it is sometimes.
I'm sorry to tell you, you kind of are a loser.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Jeez. Let's get into some new releases. How about that?
All right.
So we had...
My new releases say nothing.
That's because I didn't put it on your page.
Okay.
I have it here.
I was like, are you holding out on me?
I am holding out on you. Pokemon Masters came out on iOS and Android, so it's a phone game. I haven't actually had a chance to play it. People are saying it's pretty fun, but some new Pokemon game, it's free on iOS and Android. So if you want that, go download it. I downloaded it and I haven't turned it on yet. So no review there. Astral Chain came out on Nintendo Switch. That's actually getting really good reviews. People are loving that. People are saying it's the best looking game on Switch. Really cool fighting mechanics, kind of a cool story with kind of like a futuristic, I don't know, this is going to sound crazy, but it's like this futuristic police force that controls these demons or like these spirits or something with this astral chain, essentially. So it's you get to control two characters at once. Sounds crazy, but from what I've watched and what I've heard, I'm like, it sounds pretty interesting. It sounds kind of cool.
Kind of sounds crazy.
Blair Witch came out on Xbox One and PC. Dude, I've been playing that. I've been enjoying that. It's scary. When I first played it, we did play a little bit for a possible Let's Play. We'll see if that goes up or not. But before we played it together, I played it Friday night, turned off all the lights, put on my surround sound headphones,
put on your plastic underwear,
cranked them up real loud, And I just sat in my living room and played that game on my TV. I plugged my computer into my TV because I played it on the PC Game Pass where it's free. And dude, that game was so terrifying. Like whenever, like there's a certain little things that jump out to you when you're fighting the monster and stuff, when it's super loud in your ears and it's pitch black in your house, I was legitimately like trembling at times. Like,
That's awesome.
oh my gosh, like trying to figure out like where the heck this thing is. And because you have your little dog, you're trying to look at the dog, like, okay, where's the dog looking? He's looking over there. Oh shoot. Oh, now it's over there. You can see it like whiz across the screen. Oh man, I was freaking out. Like, it was such a good environment. I wish we could have had that same environment here in the studio when we played.
I'm glad we didn't, because I did not have on rubber underwear. Thankfully, we had some lights on in the hizzy.
Yeah.
So that's what they call a house, by the way.
Right.
So that way I didn't get too scared.
But dude, that game was a lot of fun. Yeah, I can't wait to play more. I want to finish it and figure out how it all ends.
You'll never finish it.
It's
Garrett.
not supposed to be a very long game. I think I can finish that one.
You never finish games.
I mean, I think there's only like 8 or 9 chapters, and we played in the Let's Play today. We played until like chapter 4 or 5, so we're already halfway through it. And we played for what, an hour?
Yeah. Wow.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's only like 2 or 3 hours long. The Dark Pictures Man of Medan also came out, PS4, Xbox One, PC. This is another one we are looking into maybe doing for Spooky Gamer Boys.
This looked absolutely terrifying. Think Until Dawn.
It's the same people who made that game.
But better. It looked much more terrifying. I actually liked Until Dawn. I liked the premise of the game. I thought it was really, really well done. It didn't grab me. It didn't like hold my attention much. I actually didn't finish it. But with Man of Medan, this game looks intense, and I can't wait for us to be able to pick this game up and then to be able to play it. Hopefully we can do a Let's Play doing the Spooky Gamer Boys.
Heck yeah. What else came out? Final Fantasy VIII Remastered came out on PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch on the 3rd. And then Spyro Reignited Trilogy comes out on PC and Switch. It was already out on PS4. Now it's out on, or I think before it was on PS4 and Xbox One. And now on the 3rd, it's on PC and Switch. So it's just 2 more consoles you can play that. Classic game mode. What's up, guys? This episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Podcoin. Do you like to listen to Super Gamer Boys? Well, the Podcoin app pays you to listen to this podcast and every other podcast out there. It's the podcast player that pays. Just get the Podcoin app on your iPhone or Android device. It's free, it's super easy to use, and you can use the Podcoin app to earn Podcoin to claim gift cards or donate to charity. It's amazing how it works, and it turns your podcast listening into charity. Or if you just want to get some Amazon or Starbucks gift cards, it's pretty great. I use it every day now, listening to all of my favorite podcasts, even my own, to rack up those pod coins. I'm getting pretty close to getting my own rewards now. I love it, and it's super easy to use. You can get it from the App Store or the Android Store today. Seriously, just go get the Podcoin app, and if you use our invite code, GamerBoys, you'll get 300 Podcoin just for signing up if you use my code. That's 300 Podcoin just for signing up if you use our code, GamerBoys. That's GAMERBOYS. Go give the Podcoin app a try. And remember, it's a podcast player that pays. That's it for new releases. What you been playing?
Dude, so I don't know if I told you, but I had 4 days off.
Yeah.
That's
loser.
right. Dude, no, I'm not a loser. I'm actually kind of a winner. You'd be surprised. So
I've heard it both ways.
I also had another thing that happened because I had Friday off. My wife was out of town. She was in Southern California. So Garrett, I played video games more than I ever have in my entire life. It was amazing. I played Marvel's Spider-Man, and I played the heck out of that game. It's so much fun. I really never got an opportunity to play much more than the first I don't know, half hour before, but I was really able to get in and started. I'm getting lost in little side missions like crazy. It's such an awesome open world, and I've got the mechanics down. Swinging. Dude, if you guys haven't played this game, I know you have, Garrett, but you guys.
I beat that game.
Sure you did. It's okay. It's okay. So,
the screenshots may be gone because my PlayStation crashed.
Garrett.
But I have trophies to prove it.
Garrett, you don't have to lie.
I beat God of War 2. Both of those games made me cry last year. They were the two games I finished and 2 games that made me cry.
We're in a small studio. I can look you dead in your eye, and right now, your eye is twitching. That's your tell. When you lie, your eye twitches.
No, not true. Not true.
Always twitching, Garrett. It's always twitching. Yes, I'm just kidding. He's beaten a game before, just never Marvel Spider-Man or God of War. So with Spider-Man, I'm having such a great time. It's such a fun game. So I also got my oldest, who just had her 16th birthday, popped in and was playing through the old Uncharted games again.
Nice.
So that became fun. Going back and playing Uncharted and then watching her play and then me jumping in a little bit and playing. It's funny. I played 1, 2, and 3, and then played 4, and then The Lost Legacy. The way that she played it was she played 4 and The Lost Legacy, and now is going back. In doing that, I'm realizing that they don't hold up as much.
No.
The gameplay is not as good.
Yeah.
But when I first played through them, I absolutely loved them. But going back, I'm like, wow, it's really not as good of a game.
You could definitely tell they were PS3 games.
Yes.
Like they're very obviously PS3 games.
Yes. They were remastered for PS4, but they're very, very obviously PS3 games.
That's
past console.
Yeah, going back to any PS3 or 360 game, you're like, oof, this is an old game.
Yeah, it actually makes it a little hard, but it's still a great story. It's still great.
Yeah.
They're still fun games, but it's just like, man, I've already kind of played better than this, so it's kind of hard to go back. But it's neat to watch her excited about it. Her navigation of the controllers kind of reminds me of how when I first started playing.
You mean how you still play?
I pretty much still play like that. Thanks, Garrett. Okay. I pretty much still do that, yeah. No, but I had an awesome time. And then, of course, we earlier got to do a little bit of the Spooky Gamer Boys, doing some Let's Play with Blair Witch. And that game is really scary.
Spooky.
It's extremely spooky. So I can't wait for us to pop that up on the old YouTube channel. And
maybe you'll see it one day. Maybe you won't.
If you haven't, please go over and like us and on YouTube and subscribe. Hit the bell to get those notifications whenever our videos come up.
We do have a Let's Play on there of us playing Super Mario Maker, where we totally, we take a swing at the old impossible level over there.
Yeah, the impossible level being one with a twist, and it's just crazy. So we played maybe 10 minutes on the video, and it's us just getting decimated, and we did not do well. So after that, I've actually seen a video of somebody else playing that game and beating that level in 1 minute and 3 seconds.
Not possible.
It did not seem possible. It was some jujube magic crap that this kid was, I assume it was a grown man. It couldn't have been a child. It was crazy.
It was probably a child.
Might have been a child.
That's the way it goes. It's like the kids these days, they can just do magic. I don't know.
It made me ashamed, like very deeply. I'm already ashamed, but it made me very deeply ashamed to watch somebody decimate that thing when we struggled so hard.
So hard.
So apparently that kid said that it is possible.
Crazy. Let's see. I play, like I said, Blair Witch. That game's awesome. Can't wait to finish it. Very dark, very spooky. Don't like the dog. Dog's real stupid. But, it's the only way to beat the game is to follow the dog around. So it's what you get. I guess that's one reason it's even harder and scarier is because you have to follow the stupid dog around. I imagine that's similar to how it feels, how Shaggy felt with Scooby.
Shaggy.
I play a little more Prey. I know I talked about that last week. Play a little bit more of that. That game continues to still be a lot of fun. Nothing of note really happened yet. Like, I didn't play too much more. I haven't had much time to play games. This last week, I had multiple days where I got home like 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. So yeah, not much time to play video games. I got home, ate dinner, and like just collapsed in a heap.
Cried myself to sleep.
Let's see, Age of Empires. I forgot. I played that. They have the original, Age of Empires 1 definitive edition on not Xbox, the PC Game Pass. So that is, I wanted to look up what year the original came out. 1997 was the original. But they've remastered it and updated it a little bit, not much. It still runs pretty crappy. But they've upgraded it for Game Pass, a definitive edition. So it comes with all the DLC packs, all the bonus stuff. Graphics are a little better. And I played that multiplayer online with Matt Liu and Isaac Mininger. You know both of them.
Isaac and I are best friends.
Yes.
How you doing, Isaac?
So those two guys, we jumped on the old Discord, used the voice chat on there, and then we proceeded to, I was going to say beat each other senseless in Age of Empires, but basically what happened is right off the bat, I advanced super quickly and I got way ahead. I was advancing all of my technologies and all my armies, and I was oh man, I'm going to kick these guys' butts. I had all these workers.
This is an audio podcast and he's winking at me over and over and over again. Why are you doing that? I'm not picking up what you're saying.
I'm not picking up what you're saying either.
That you're I totally advanced, wink, wink, that I did so well, wink, wink. Dude, you just die right away.
Let me finish the story. You always do this. You think you're funny. You're ruining my story.
I'm laughing at my own stuff.
You're ruining my story. Let me finish.
Oh, do tell.
Let me finish. You always try to paint me out to be like this.
It's not a paint. It's not paint.
Just let me finish. Okay, here it goes. I got really far ahead. I was I'm going to kick these guys' butts. And then I was I'm going to start building my army now. I started building my army. I created three or four units, and all of a sudden it wouldn't let me build anymore. I'm that's weird. And then it started those little pop-up came up and said population cap hit. I'm what? I was Isaac, you put a population cap on how big our civilization could be? He's yeah, it's just default. It comes, it's automatic in the settings. You're only allowed to have 50 people. Are you kidding me? I had 48 workers. And so I could only build 2 soldiers. I'm no! And you can't kill people off. I think in Age of Empires 2 or 3, they added a feature where you click on people and just kill. It kills them off. And then, it would free up some of your population count. Then you could fill that with soldiers. This game, the original one, didn't have that.
So I'm kind of embarrassed that I don't actually know anything about Age of Empires.
I'll show you a video or something later. It'll make more sense. But basically, yeah. So I had my entire population was filled with a bunch of workers who were that's how I basically grew so quickly. I expanded my empire so quickly is because I had all these workers collecting rock, wood, food, gold, building houses, building barracks, building all this stuff. And then, I got to the point where okay, I'm big enough, I'm huge, now I'm going to build my army. I'm oh no, I can only build 2 people. And so that's what happened is I proceeded to, I was well, this is it. This is the end. Matt and Isaac flanked me from both sides and just wiped me out.
Destroyed you.
No problems at all. And then they proceeded to play for another 45 minutes while I just sat there and watched them.
No.
Yeah,
that's
I was
horrible.
This sucks. So...
Dude, I would have taken my controller and went home.
Yeah.
So it's actually a handheld game. It's on Android devices and stuff.
No, it's on PC Game Pass. It's a computer game.
I knew that.
From the 90s.
I knew
97?
I knew that.
I said that earlier.
Yeah. I heard.
1997.
That's the year I graduated high school, Garrett. Or were you 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually was.
Yeah.
I have no come back to that because that's just fact.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And now I know in the future we need to either raise that population cap or I just need to not build 48 workers. But yeah, that was a lot of fun playing with some friends. I feel like I don't get to play online with people enough.
Why is that, Garrett? It's almost like you're busy. Like you got a life and you got kids and...
Almost, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the question of the show. So this is one, a couple weeks ago, we asked a question from Chloe, and I only asked the first half of the question. So this is the second half of the question. The reason I split it is because neither one of the questions had anything to do with each other. So sorry, Chloe, but you're a little all over the place with your question there.
Sipping on the old cooking sherry, huh?
So the second half of the question was, what games are you looking forward to this year? From Chloe McConnell. Thank you so much for that question, Chloe.
Chloe, that's actually an awesome question.
So basically, the year's 2019. Can you envision that? You have that in your head?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What games are you excited for?
I'm just going to make you mad. I'm going to make you mad when I say it.
Are you?
Mm-hmm. Because I know you're going to be a poop on my point. You're going to be pooping on my point. I want to see Last of Us 2. There was the thing that we heard where it was coming out in October of this year, and it needs to happen, Garrett. It needs to happen.
It's impossible.
So
it's September. If they haven't announced it now, there's no way it's coming out in less than a month.
It could happen.
No.
Remember when you said that, like, the Joker movie, that, normally they put the reviews out, like, right before, and then, like...
But we've known about the Joker movie for the past, 3 years.
Come on, Garrett. Look, just give me this one, please. Just give me this one. My kid
I'll give you anything, but I'm not giving you that. I'm sorry. That's the one thing I can't give you.
That's the thing. I really, really would love to see that game come out, and I did get my hopes up because of that false narrative that was coming out in October.
We did an article. I realized later too, so JJ, the other day we were on the phone. He kept asking me about buying Last of Us 2, and finally I asked him. I was like, "Do you think that's coming out this year?" He's like.
I thought it was
November. He's like, it's coming out October, November, right? I'm like, no. I was like, we didn't. I was like, remember that article we did? He's like, yeah, it says it's coming out in October. I'm like, no, the article was saying that it was probably a rumor, it was false, reports were coming in, but nothing's been confirmed. It was just a fake Photoshop deal. And you were just like, oh, I've never, I couldn't see you because it was over the phone, but you sounded so defeated. You're like,
no, I was defeated.
I could hear your soul leaving your body.
That's exactly the moment that it happened. It killed me because I've been looking
you were for sure that it was guaranteed coming out this year. I'm like, JJ, no, that's that's probably not until spring or maybe even fall of next year. And you're like, no, that can't be true.
And that's what it looks like. It's probably going to be fall of next year. But to paint a picture so you understand, I've been playing the PlayStation 4 for a couple of years now. It's been 2 years, a little over 2.5 years that I've had the system and that I've been in it gaming. And one of the first games that I played was Last of Us. I absolutely love that game. It was incredible. Well, already then they were talking about Last of Us 2, and there was trailers that came out not that long after I played the game.
Yeah.
So I've been looking forward to it for a couple of years. And so I really thought that it was coming out. I thought for sure, because I remember we covered it in that article. So yeah, when you told me oh, you didn't hear that was BS and that's not going to happen and we're another year and a half out. And dude,
we talked about it on the show.
I don't remember when I talk about anything. I remember you saying it was a rumor, but I took it as, no, that's stone cold fact, my friend.
The truth. Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as games that are coming out, I guess one of the games that's coming out this year, still here, Outer Worlds is a game that I look forward to. That game looks like a lot of fun.
That one is coming out in October 25th. Yeah. That one looks like it could be good. I think I'm looking forward to it, but I'm curious to see what you think, because you've tried Fallout and you've tried some other open world RPG games, and you have had a hard time getting into them. That's what this is going to be. So I'm curious.
But again, that was in the very beginning.
Yeah, I guess
when I was so used to, with my old guy video gaming, understand that I was used to linear gameplay. And then when I played the Uncharted games, the first few Uncharted games, extremely linear as well. So it's not a platformer, but you're going in one direction. It's not open world. So when I first tried the Fallout game that you loaned to me,
Yeah,
was
I could see how that could be overwhelming.
It was like, where am I supposed to go?
Yeah.
I don't understand. So that turned me off. Since then, I've gotten into games that are open worlds like Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
true.
Stuck with the story, but also been able to do the other stuff as well, that there's so much else in the game. So in the beginning, I had no idea of direction, when I played Fallout. So
Right.
I'd be interested to probably give that another try again in the future. It's kind of getting dated now. So if I were to try to go back to it.
It holds up.
Yeah, does it?
Yeah, no, the Fallout's one of those games that it holds up pretty well.
And now Marvel Spider-Man, I've been playing that, and that's an open world game as well. And there's so many little side missions you can do. And there's so much to explore and to see. So I love it. I'm really enjoying the idea of open world games now. But it's just taken a little bit of maturity on my part. That's right, Garrett. I have matured.
Yeah, right. What games am I looking forward to? I have a couple. I'm just going to say this one and not talk about it because we talk about it every week in the news. Death Stranding, obviously. That is a game created by my Lord and Savior Hideo Kojima.
No, Garrett. I just had to scoot back from you right now, for fear of the lightning coming through the wall and just hitting you directly.
That comes out November 8th. Obviously, that's number one on my list. I might even take that day off work just to play it all day. I'm seriously considering it.
I could see that.
Like, I'm not even joking right now.
I know.
I might take the
could
day
see
off
that.
to play, because I'll start playing at, one of the bonuses of being on the West Coast, Pacific time, games come out midnight Eastern time, so it's 9 o'clock here. Thursday night, I'm jumping on Death Stranding. I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping all weekend. I'm going straight through to Sunday night.
Yeah. I wear my porta potty underwear and I just go for it.
Get me those Depends.
Right.
The other one I'm excited for, and this is one that I'm kind of surprised I'm excited for, but after playing, I did that alpha test of just the multiplayer, and I've just watched a couple trailers. I'm actually really excited.
Are you allowed to talk about it? The statute of limitations is falling off. You're not going to get nobody's going to tase you right now.
No, the Call of Duty wasn't under any embargo.
Okay.
I can talk about this. There's 2 other games I played that I can't talk about. But the Call of Duty I'm allowed to talk about. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I'm really excited for this. The multiplayer really hooked me, and usually we've talked about this in the Discord. I'm not a multiplayer gamer. Like, I much prefer single player. Not only am I terrible at multiplayer, but I just never got it. It never clicked in my head. Like, I was very much like, no, I'd rather just give me story and let me play through a good story. And I've explained in the past, like, that's why I'm a PlayStation 4 gamer, because Xbox, is killing it with the multiplayer stuff. They have a good multiplayer servers and system, and Xbox Live is great, and the games on there look good, and they work great, everything, blah, blah, blah. But PS4, is where good stories live. But Call of Duty has no right to be on my list generally, but even based off of, they haven't come out with a story trailer yet, but just based off of what reporters and stuff and not interviewers, but reviewers have said about it, I'm really excited for the story too. Like, they're taking a dramatic turn on the franchise. Like, it's going back to modern day. It's no more futuristic Halo feeling, fighting in space, Call of Duty. We're back, modern day, boots on the ground, dark, dirty, gritty, real to an extent. Obviously, I know, it's not real. Like, you can ask any soldier who's been on the battlefield, I'm sure nothing will ever simulate that. I'm not saying that it's a simulation. I'm just saying they're trying to bring more of a realism to it, not necessarily realistic or simulation, but a little more of to give you a feeling of, okay, make this hard, difficult, impossible decision here. And I honestly am excited for that, just for the fact of let's get a real mature story out of this. Not some crazy space thing where I'm running around and blowing up people on Mars or something.
Has that been some of the Call of Duty?
Yeah, the
games?
one Infinite Warfare was in space. Like you were fighting these people from Mars or something. Like people from Earth had colonized Mars, and like they were terrorizing the Earth. They were coming back and attacking us, or something like that. I don't even remember. It was such a crazy storyline. But Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I'm like, okay, like this is going to be like an actual like heart-wrenching, dark, gritty war story. Like think like Black Hawk Down or something, like some of those classic war movies and stuff. Like that's what I'm envisioning this game's going to be like, where there's going to be real hard decisions here, and real tough just things to see and digest. But I don't know. That's what makes for a good movie, is when it makes you think. I want to think when I play a game. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare is probably number 2 on my list. That comes out October 25th. I can't wait to give that a shot. And then also I'm just going to say it says honorable mention, probably for both of us. You may have forgotten about it, but I just saw on the list here, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order comes out November 15th.
That game actually looks amazing.
That one actually looks good, and yeah, I'm sure we'll both do our best to get our hands on that one too. But, alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. If you loved what you heard today, go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. Support us over there. We have different tiers you can support us at, get cool perks. You can also go review us. Reviews on iTunes help us the best. If you can go over there to iTunes, rate, review us, leave 5 stars, leave us a cool little comment. Also, you can find us at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys, facebook.com/supergamerboys. You can also find us supergamerboys.com/Discord if you want to talk to us throughout the week, have fun little conversations with other people who listen to the podcast. We're trying to build a community here. So let's all, get together and just hang out and have some fun.
And unlike his Age of Empires, he's not going to just build a bunch of workers. He's going to build a bunch of soldiers. But a couple of you guys are going to have to pick up trash and stuff like that. I'm just saying.
Also, our YouTube channel, please go over to supergamerboys.com/YouTube. Subscribe to our channel there. Check out the videos we have. Most of it is just episodes that you've already listened to if you listen to our podcast. But we also have the one Let's Play, and hopefully in the coming weeks, months, we'll start adding more and more stuff as we are able to. Check us out at our personal Twitters. I'm at GMorlang on Twitter.
I am at JJ Purdom.
Thank you so much to Star Andrews for our logo. Check her out on Instagram at Ground Floor Graphics and Facebook.com/Ground Floor Graphics. Alrighty. Made it through another one.
We did it. I'm pretty proud of us. 4 days off that we both... Oh, that's right. You only had 3.
Nah, I had like 1. I had 1 day off. Let's just be real here.
Sucks
I had
to
1
suck.
day. And I was sick, so really I didn't get any days off.
Sucks to suck.
Yep, that's what they say, huh?
Yeah, they say.
That's what I usually say to everyone else, and now it comes back to bite me.
You really do. You know what else you always say every week that like irritates me and like grinds on my nerves?
Oh, yeah. I'll catch you on the flippity flop. Is that it?
Yeah.
That was it. Okay.